Now, most of you out there will recognize our next guest. David Bentata has truly done it all, and now he's taken it to the next level. David's just had his poems published. Welcome to the show, David. It's great to have you here.
Thanks for joining us, David.
Now, David, I'm going to cut straight to the point.
Cut to the point. Go on.
I want to know, how did it get to this point now that you've got it published? You know, how did you get these published into
Actually, a cousin of mine in London, Sandra, told me that she saw this advert from Colorado University in America. They wanted poems about grief and sorrow and loss. And I've got a few of those. And she said, send it. I'm not going to send it to America. Come on, there's enough poets there. She insisted. I sent 3, and they've been published. And it's
well done. Yeah, it must be a good feeling.
It's a great feeling because, you know, reciting poetry at home, Jib, it's relatively easy. Having it recognized as far away as that.
Yeah, excellent.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about the 3 poems.
Well, they're published in this book called Capturing Shadows, which is sold in Amazon, although I've got some over here. And for a donation to the Alzheimer's Society, they can collect one at the shop at Bojangles. I had these 3 poems about incidents that happened to me, with me, for people that I met, and they had gone through this. And in fact, I was present on 2 of the occasions. And it hit me so hard. There is an expression in Spanish which says, El dolor es el amigo del poeta. Pain is the poet's friend. Because when you're feeling an extreme of emotion, like if you're very happy, what you go out, have a drink with friends. You can't really write poetry about that. You're not in the mood for it. But when you get some sorrow, something deep that touches you, and you're alone and you want to express it, it comes out. It comes out and it flows. And the idea of poetry is really so that your feelings can touch somebody else's feelings and you're in sync with it. And I think this is what I've done with my poems.
And I believe you're quite willing to recite one of them to us.
I'll recite one of them, which is, I think, the better one of all 3 of them. It's called The Honeymoon is Over. And this is about a local couple that went through this. And I was there, and I wrote it. I saw the old man again. Many years had passed. He was alone without his wife. So I went up close and asked. 53 years we were together, just she and I. We had no son. She was my moon on my dark nights. And until her death, I was her son. She helped me set up shop together. She helped me when it closed down. We sold the car and then the house, while on the dole she did not frown. The years dragged on, and some were great, but childless was our lot. We once had a false alarm and she went out and bought a cot. One day she fell into a coma. The life we'd shared was at an end. I sat by her bedside day and night, my last respects for wife and friend. She smiled and looked at me and spoke these words before her final dawn. The honeymoon is over now. And with a sigh, her soul away was born.
It's beautiful.
God, that was...
Thank you.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Sorry,
It's actually
thank
got
you.
me a bit choked after that. Yeah.
It was exactly like
Oh
that.
my goodness.
Yeah.
I was there when it happened, and it was like that, and we were crying. And she wasn't a relative of mine, but the words, after all those years of marriage, the words she says to her husband. Terrific.
Beautiful. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
I'm really glad you shared that with us, David.
Thank you.
And on the subject of that, I mean, like, your style and your writing, like, do you have any sort of inspirational, like, figures that have spoken to you? Like,
No. It all started when I was about 14, 15, because I didn't know how to dance. In those days, you had to know how to dance, or the girl wouldn't dance with you. And so I thought all my friends could dance. I couldn't, so I thought, well, I can't dance, I'll write a poem. And I wrote a poem. And yes, it was great. We managed to go to the last row of the cinema that Sunday, so it must have been good. But then I left it, and then I picked it up again, and now I've got over about 100 poems. I've been published twice in Spain already, because I do Spanish poems. Yeah. And it's what I feel, and I don't know how to write about the birds and the bees and the flowers and the stars. I can only write when it hits me, when it touches me. Yeah. And then I want to touch you with my words. And if I do, then it's a good poem.
Well, it definitely works. And you can buy that book from Amazon and also from the shop Bojangles.